great to see such a large group here today for our annual GHGB luncheon. It's an exciting day for the Chamber as we prepare to kick off our Good Health is Good Business 8-Week Wellness Challenge, sponsored by Basin Pacific Insurance and Benefits. I hope everyone had the opportunity to check out our Health and Wellness Expo just a little earlier. This year's Expo features 21 regional chamber member wellness partners and program sponsors who are all here to help you get started on your health and wellness goals and the Good Health is Good Business Challenge. Health and wellness initiatives are increasingly important within communities, and a growing number of chambers are including these initiatives in their program of work. The Tri-City Regional Chamber has embraced our role as an intermediary between business, community health, and health policy. A little background information. In 2012, we were preparing to launch our Good Health is Good Business program when the Gallup Healthways Wellbeing Index ranked the Tri-Cities as one of the most obese metropolitan areas in the nation. As a matter of fact, we were ranked 9th worst in America. So this ranking reinforced that we were on the right track in providing a workplace wellness program to our members. Thanks to the leadership of our chair at the time, John Crook, and Carol Moser, Good Health is Good Business was born. A recent survey found that 44% of workers say that they've gained weight in their current job, largely due to sitting at a desk most of the day. Another poll found that employees attribute neck and back pain to their desk jobs, as well as reduced energy levels. Poor employee health has an immediate effect on today's workforce, including increased healthcare costs, increased employee absences, and decreased productivity. To combat this trend, workplace wellness programs are being implemented in both large companies and small businesses. Good Health is Good Business is about people. It's about living well and feeling good. Many of our chamber members have participated throughout the years, but one person in particular has championed the program through his everlasting positivity. So we'd like to hear from him today. I'd like you to please help me welcome Rich Brashears of Brashears Professional Photography to the stage to talk a little bit about his experience with Good Health is Good Business. Rich? Rich doesn't even have a camera with him right now. Where's your camera?
There you go. Hello, Rich Brashears, Brashears Professional Photography. So I'm here to talk to you guys about being a rock star just like me. No, what I'm here to do is to tell you guys a little bit about what made Good Health is Good Business work for us. And first of all, how many of you are actually signed up for the Good Health is Good Business program already? Yeah, give these people a hand. A lot of people in the room. So a lot like everyone else, I joined Good Health. We joined Good Health is Good Business, I think it was 3 years ago for the first time. And it was just a great program. And when they asked me to speak to you guys about that today, I thought, what was it about the program that made it so special for us? I think for us, one, we're highly competitive individuals and my wife Marianne can attest to this, that we are even competitive in the office. So it made just a lot of fun for us to be competitive, have a good time, get to know other people. But you know, I think when I look back and I look at what it did for us, it was this opportunity to really just focus on the journey and not on the destination. Being able to check in every day, eat good food, little reminders that you get all throughout the program to make good choices. I don't know about you, but I have a tendency to like my glass of wine, so it was a nice reminder to maybe not drink the second glass of wine, only the first glass of wine for the day. Cut down on the cigars, all those things that are, otherwise would be a really good, a normal choice for me to do a few less of those things. Maybe one less Twinkie a week, things like that maybe not such good ideas. And in the end, when you look at it, through that whole journey of the entire program, being able to look back and say, I got to hang out with some really cool people, I got to challenge really fun people, and they challenged me. And in the end, gosh, I can't believe it. I'm a little bit healthier out of this. So I'm encouraged to do this again this year. I hope you'll join me. We're going to have a good time. Thanks, Lori.
Thank you, Rich. Thanks so much. Let's give Rich a round of applause. Thanks for all your enthusiasm, and again, we hope you all sign up for our challenge. At this time, I'd like to recognize a few of our sponsors that have been instrumental in the success of Good Health is Good Business, and these include, new this year is our premier sponsor, which is Basin Pacific Insurance and Benefits. And I know we've got a table of those people here, so maybe you could all stand so we could recognize. And thank you for sponsoring the Good Health is Good Business program this year. Thanks so much. We also want to thank all of our other sponsors, Ben Franklin Transit, Cadlick Regional Medical Center, Lourdes Health Network, Lynx Healthcare, Tri-Cities Community Health, Tri-Cities Cancer Center, and then all of our wellness partners who are here today, Oasis Physical Therapy and Sports Rehab, Grace Clinic, Advocare, Bob and Jeanette Ray, Wine Country Family Dental, Esterbrook, Local Pumpkin, Body Fix Massage and Wellness, Sculpt Weight Loss, Chaplaincy Healthcare, Max Muscle of Richland, the Alzheimer's Association, Northwest Paddleboarding, Costco Wholesale, Softwater Specialist, and Encore Wellness for Life. So please join me in thanking all of the businesses who are providing these resources to make our challenge successful. And at this time, I'd like to recognize we've got a few elected officials that have joined us today. So we'd like to welcome from the City of Kennewick, we have Councilman Matt Binkie. I know Matt's here. Matt, thank you. And Councilman John Trumbo is here as well, I believe. As well as from the Port of Benton, we have Commissioner Roy Keck here as well. Roy, thanks for being here today. Let's give them a round of applause, and thanks so much for joining us. Then I'd like to ask you all to please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. So today's luncheon is sponsored by the Tri-Cities Cancer Center, and at this time I'd like to welcome to the stage Michael Novakovich, who's the Director of Strategy and Business Development for the Tri-Cities Cancer Center. Michael?
Yeah, I brought my cheering section. This is a good day for me. Hey, you know, the last time we got together like this, you were enjoying your salad, and I was talking about your colon.
You were.
Oh, well, thank you. You know, colorectal cancer is a serious disease. As you would have read, second leading cause of cancer-related death among men and women in the U.S. We have a significantly higher incidence of it here in our community. And we can do something about it, and that's getting out, getting screened, having your colonoscopy, and that's why we partner for the second year in a row with our hospital owners, Cadlick, Trios, and Lourdes, to hold a colorectal cancer pre-screening event. It was an expedited pathway to getting your screening done. And we've got to do some thank yous. We've got to thank the Chamber. They were a great partner for us in getting this message out and getting our community activated and being proactive about their health. We had some Chamber ambassadors that served as spokespeople for us as we were pushing this message forward. But we need to thank many of you in the room, because I know there was a number of you that participated, had your colonoscopy. How awesome is that? But more than that, you went out and you had conversations in the workplace. You had conversations with your family and your friends, those people you care about, and your neighbors. And I'm happy to report that we had 4 times the number of people sign up, register, participate, and go on to get their colonoscopies than we did last year. And that's something, we should be celebrating. Pretty exciting stuff. So together, we're actually improving the health and wellness of our community, and that's why we are so excited to partner with the Regional Chamber for Good Health is Good Business. And we've worked together to create some point values for you. There's some flyers. And go ahead, Austin, if you don't mind. Oh, thank you. There's a flyer on your seat that lists some of these point values where you can engage in some of the Cancer Center activities and earn points for those activities. And we've made it really simple. I'll just highlight a few of them for you. One of them, we'd be happy to come out to your business, have a conversation about prevention efforts and early detection. The same activities that help prevent cancer also help prevent other life-threatening diseases such as heart disease and diabetes. Vanna, if you would, we have our Highway to Health poster. We've got those available at our booth. The Chamber has them at their office. You can stop by the Cancer Center. There's some great wellness tips on there. If you post it in your business and follow the instructions, your entire team can earn some points. But the thing that I'm really excited about, on Saturday, May 6th, we have our annual Run for Ribbons fun run. It's a cancer, health, and awareness event taking place. Lynx is our generous sponsor this year. Yep, yeah, Lynx, and I know we're in here. I just saw you folks. Where are you, Lynx? Thank you so much for your support. What we have is it's a 1K run walk, it's a 5K and a 10K. We have our Ribbon Fest Health Fair out there, and you get 200 points if you register for the run. So that's a heck of a way to kickstart your wellness challenge as we engage in good health is good business. 50 points if you visit our Ribbon Fest Health Fair, offered absolutely for free. You don't have to be a runner, you can come and enjoy it. But that's 250 points if you come out, take a stroll down along Howard Amon, and check out that health fair. So together, we're building a healthier community. We're excited to partner with the Chamber. Again, for good health is good business. We're excited to partner with you. We hope you'll invite us out to have a conversation about how you can improve workplace wellness, and we hope to see you Saturday, May 6th. And we've even made that deal sweeter. If you register today, we're taking $5 off of your registration. You can do that at our booth when you leave. Also, if you go online, there's a little promo code, and if you enter Chamber in there, we're going to take $5 off your registration. So we hope to see you Saturday, May 6th. Thank you so much for your continued support of your Tri-Cities Cancer Center. Best of luck with all of your health and wellness endeavors.
Thank you, Michael. Appreciate it. Thanks so much. Gosh, Michael, thanks so much. You're just such a excited partner with us. We really appreciate your partnership. And I have to say, the Tri-Cities Cancer Center staff, they are one very, very creative bunch you've got there. So I hadn't seen that video yet. So keep up the good work. So each month, our Awards and Recognition Committee selects a member business to recognize as our outstanding member of the month, and we are pleased to announce that Numerica Credit Union as our April's outstanding member. Numerica has been an executive-level member since 2003. They've supported the Chamber as our premier sponsor of our annual meeting since 2012. How many of you were at our annual meeting last month? Wasn't that fun? And many Numerica employees are dedicated volunteers. They help our Ambassador Club and other various committees and donate their time during Cool Desert Nights. They also support many other numerous community events and programs. So here to accept the Outstanding Member of the Month plaque is Numerica's Regional Vice President, Andy Sterling. Andy, you don't have a selfie stick with you today, do you? No. Okay, that's good. Okay. Thanks, and everybody, let's give them another round of applause. We've got a whole group. Why don't you guys all stand over there? All the Numerica people. Let's not be bashful. Let's stand, and we'll give you all a round of applause. Thank you. Nice work. Thanks, you guys. All right, before I turn this over to our board chair, I want to also recognize today is Administrative Professionals Day. Do we have any administrative professionals in the audience with us today? If we do, maybe you could all stand. You're all... No? Oh, there you go. Yay, we have one or two. And also I want to recognize, they're probably not in here, I'm looking for them, but from our staff we have Liz Renz and Marie Corso, our administrative professionals, and I just want to thank them for everything they do for the Chamber and thank all of you as well. So happy Administrative Professionals Day. So now I'm going to turn it over to our board chair, Tony Umek, to take us through the rest of our program.
Okay, thank you, Lori. It's going to be a hard act to follow with bottoms up. When I, much younger days, the bottoms up meant something totally different to me, but I now will appreciate this. So thank you all for being here and sharing time with us today. This is very important. We have a great program in store for you. In a few minutes, we'll be hearing from our keynote speaker, Marilyn McKenna, and I think you'll find that very, very exciting, very enlightening. First, we have a couple orders of business to take care of, and I want to tell you the Chamber is very excited about this year's Good Health is Good Business program. We want to encourage all of you to participate. We're going to be asking some questions later that will help you be motivated to do that. As board chair, I'm also very pleased that the Chamber has the ability and the service capability to provide to those businesses that don't have the resources themselves to administer a program like Good Health is Good Business, and we help them do that. So we want to help you do that, take the burden away from you and let you run your business. We'll help you put together the administrative process for the Good Health is Good Business activities. Next, as we do each meeting, we have the opportunity to recognize new members. So we're going to ask Elizabeth Holt to come forward, please. She's our membership director for the Chamber, and she'll introduce our new members. And I'd like you to ask them, as they come forward, please stand on the side, and then we're going to get a photo when we're all done. Thank you.
Thanks, Tony. Like he mentioned, we have quite a few new members who are able to join us today. So if I call your name, please come to the stage and accept your plaque from Tony and pose for a group photo. So first, we have Kay and Kim Shadiger with In the Black Bookkeeping and Taxes. Frank Matheson and Bryce Fullingham with AIA Magnum Promotions. Mike Brown with Barracuda Coffee Company. Amanda Nolan with Body Fix Massage and Wellness. Claudia Jimenez with CJ Business Consulting. Mark Keith with Encore Wellness for Life. Nancy Betcher with Inland Northwest Bank. Angela Campos with Mr. Mattress. Lindsay DeBoard with Sculpt Weight Loss. Dana Shinpaw with Simplicity by Hayden Homes. Mike Klein with Softwater Specialists. And Lexi Forbes with Yellow Dog Studio. Please join me in welcoming these new members. I'm going to take them down there. Thank you all for coming. Next, we'd like to recognize some of the Chamber's longstanding members. These members that I will mention have been members of the Regional Chamber for 20 years or more. United Way, Cadlick Regional Medical Center, Agra Northwest, Goodwill Industries, Kennewick Irrigation District, Bud Noor Insurance, JEA Royal Columbian Retirement Inn, JUB Engineers, Marple & Marple, Benton Franklin Orthopedic Associates, United Finance Company, Town Square Media, Images, Kennewick Walmart, Pacific Cataract and Laser Institute, Catering to You, the Track Center, Tri-Cities Licensing, Outback Steakhouse, Stoneway Electric Supply, Vision Mortgage, Life Care Center of Richland, Benton Franklin Workforce Development Council, Banner Bank, Perfection Glass, Redder & Company, Sotheby's International Realty, Clifton Larson Allen, Matheson and Hahn, Hall Engineering Associates, CG Public House and Catering, Express Employment Professionals, Fast Signs, Comfort Inn in Kennewick, D. Hiddle and Associates, Richland Dental Center, Senior Life Resources Northwest, Devoted Builders, and Keeper TV. We appreciate all of your participation with the Chamber.
Thank you. Appreciate the new members. Welcome to the Chamber. We really appreciate the opportunity to have new people join because they bring new ideas, but most importantly, they can partner with the other Chamber businesses and partner with the Chamber, because our goal is to continue to develop businesses and develop the quality of life in the Tri-Cities. That has to do with a healthy lifestyle, it has to do with economic stability, and it has to do with partnerships so we can work toward common goals. So we welcome you and thank you very much for being here. Now, we have a process that we've engaged for some time now. It's called live polling. And it doesn't have anything to do with the cattle business. It has to do with some questions that we're going to ask you. We'll have 3 questions today. We'll ask the first one now, and then we'll ask the next 2 after we have our featured speaker. We're sponsored by Cascade Natural Gas, so we appreciate their sponsorship of this activity. So we should have something coming up on the board here in a minute to go through the process. There are also some little green flip cards on your tables. So I'd like to ask you, if you would please take out your cell phones or mobile devices or whatever. And let's see, have we got the instructions there yet? Yes, we do. So you go to the web browser, go to slido.com, and then enter the code GHGB, Good Health, Good Business. And if you're in the Navy or the services, you can use the phonetic alphabet for those letters as well. That's fine. The first question, does your employer have a program? Yes, no, or unsure? If you're unsure, you might not want to tell your employer about that. Okay, I think we're done. That says we have a significant opportunity to improve our health. So those of you that aren't doing that, please, again, the Chamber can help you. It's really not a very painful process. It's something that we can help. It's been going on now for several years. In a prior business life, we had an opportunity for hundreds of our employees to participate in this, and it's really made a difference for their lifestyles. Okay, so I think we can take that off, and now it's time for our speaker. So it's my distinct pleasure to introduce Marilyn McKenna. She began her journey to wellness, I believe, in 2007. She'll share some details with you, including probably her first marathon. She's transformed herself into someone who loves a healthy lifestyle. She's become an athlete. She's a personal trainer, marathon, does bodybuilding, and apparently occasional hot yoga. She might want to tell you about that. I'm not sure I know what that is. But she received a bachelor's and master's degrees from the University of Washington, and that's why we're having rain today in celebration of that school. She's a passionate advocate for wellness, and she works with people to help both the individuals and their families improve their lifestyle. Health and happiness go together. And so if you can maintain health and a healthy lifestyle, it really does improve your overall view of life. She tells us she has lost over 100 pounds. That's hard to believe, but true, and she'll talk about that. Kept it off for over a decade. She specializes in working with clients and, again, working on healthy lifestyle and behavior change. So with that, please help me give a warm Tri-Cities welcome to our speaker, Marilyn McKenna.
Hi, everybody. I did not bring this rain with me. This is not my responsibility. But boy, I tell you, after the winter that we've had, and I know yours was really bad too, but the winter that we've had in Western Washington, I feel kind of waterlogged. So I'm ready for some sun. Yeah, that's me. First off, can I just explain the reason I don't look like either one of those women anymore is because, just anecdotally, a few months ago, I had this just horrific allergic reaction to my hair color. I've been coloring my hair since I was 25. All of a sudden, for whatever reason, I crossed some sort of toxic threshold and had just a horrible dermatitis all over me. And I tried everything for, I don't know, 6 months, 8 months, something like that. And I just cut it off. I can't stand it anymore because it was bothering me all the time. It wasn't just, when I had it colored. And so I just chopped all my hair off and let it go gray. And I will say, ladies, that as much as I was just as attached to my hair, it was so gorgeous, I will say. But I was just as attached to my hair and my hair color as y'all are. But this is so liberating. Like, I can get dressed as fast as a guy now. It's awesome. So I'll just put that out there. And let me say thank you so much to the Chamber for inviting me, to your leadership, and to all of you. And the reason that I'm so excited to talk to you is that we are in a really unique position in our communities as leaders, in all the roles that we play, not just in the workplace, in our personal lives, in our lives, with our children. So as parents, as PTA members, as church leaders, in all of those roles that we play, we are leaders, and people are looking to us for guidance, for information, for inspiration as to how to live better lives, and then obviously in the context of what we're talking about today, to live healthier lives. So I'm really excited about that because the messages that we carry forth in our words and more importantly in our actions will speak volumes to others as to what is possible. Because when it comes to weight loss, obviously that's kind of what you see when you look at me and you hear my story, is kind of the uniqueness of my ability to lose more than 100 pounds. It's 120 or 30 or something like that. But the uniqueness of my story is sort of unfortunate, isn't it? The fact that it isn't more common. But I like to say that I am exceptional, maybe only statistically, because I have been able to maintain something that most people can't for some reason, and I have a lot of ideas as to why that is. But I'm really excited about the opportunity for us to take forward the message that we can bring about change. And we can start to turn this ship, which is our nation's wellness, to something that we can really be proud of when we, leave this legacy at the doorstep of our children. Because unfortunately, we all know the bad news, right? And okay. Well, that's the wrong slide presentation, actually. So I don't have them. So anyway, the slide that was going to go up there was going to tell you some of the statistics that you already know, which I think we can all agree in terms of our collective wellness are not good and are getting worse very, very quickly. The reason it seems to be accelerating at such a fast pace, as opposed to, I don't know about you, I'm 54. When I was a child in the 60s and as a teenager in the 70s, it was quite uncommon for children to be overweight. I was overweight, but I was an anomaly. Nowadays, unfortunately, it really isn't terribly uncommon for children to be overweight. And we find it increasingly in schoolyards, in doctors' offices, that childhood obesity, not just overweight, but childhood obesity, and is something about which the medical community is starting to use words like epidemic. This should scare the holy bejesus out of all of us. Honestly, this is completely unacceptable. Part of it is our responsibility as parents, right? But that's not the whole picture. Because as you sit and eat your meal, I have to bring attention to the fact that our standard American diet is friggin' killing us. It's just absolutely killing us. The number of processed foods which include highly processed, that's the one, that include highly processed refined grains and sugars. This is not normal. This is not what humans are meant to eat. The picture of that woman who weighed 265 pounds and had a BMI of 43. Now, I was morbidly obese for more than 20 years. This isn't just something that just, I was fat for a little, while I got pregnant or something no. I was fat for a really long time. But this didn't happen by accident. This happened for a couple reasons. I didn't know any better. And I eat the standard American diet. And to some extent, this is happening to all of us who engage in the standard American diet. Highly processed carbohydrates, which are not meant to be eaten in the quantities that we eat them. Boy, I'm a buzzkill. Let me tell you, I'm no fun at parties either. Nobody wants to. Nobody invites me to go out to eat. Because they all think I'm going to scrutinize what and I probably would, what they're eating. But it really is time for us as those leaders to start to stand up and really speak about this publicly. As I said, I think the tide is starting to turn, but it's really only if you're looking for that kind of information. If you're looking for that kind of alternative information, maybe you've heard of a ketogenic diet. You're like, what's keto? What's that about? What's low carb, high fat about? What's paleo? What's Whole30? You've heard of these things kind of tangentially, but it certainly isn't part of your normal everyday experience. The information is starting to be disseminated, but I think the takeaway that I hope that we all get from this horrible experiment that we've now done to ourselves collectively with the standard American diet, what I'm hoping that we take away is that we have a personal responsibility to make our best choices, but that we as leaders and those who lead us, government officials, government agencies, medical communities, that these people will step up and really start to disseminate and filter some of that information for us. Because, as we become more advanced in our understanding of nutrition, of how nutrition affects for example, hormonal system and growth hormones and that type of stuff. As we become more educated about it, we need more consistent information about how to implement this in our regular lives. And in terms of our own responsibility, I gotta say, I don't do anything. Are we all grown-ups? Well, I don't do anything half-assed. I just don't. I'm either all fat or I'm all not. And because once I learn something, I learn it, and I'm just going to go for it at that point. And I now really, really believe that it's our responsibility to step up and say, it's not a joke, that, I'm just going to say it, unicorn frappuccino with 59 grams of sugar, it's not a joke, right? And that's one of a gajillion examples of crap that's in our food system that we treat as daily indulgences. And it's killing us. So, see, this is why I say I'm no fun at parties. All right, that's the bad news. In terms of, sorry. Wow, the clicker's so advanced. In terms of our workplaces, what we really can do, and what I really hope we do, is to provide a kind of a safe environment that treats people's health seriously. So, it can be anything from, new policies about not selling, your kids' chocolate fundraisers in the office. Maybe something other than a monthly birthday party kind of thing. Because what we know for sure is that health affects the bottom line. We all know this. It affects productivity, retention, morale, all these kinds of things. And our collective health is our employers' a primary concern for the bottom line and also just for employee health and happiness. Creating abundant wellness in the workplace can really be something just as simple as creating an environment where it's totally cool for somebody to bring in, resistance bands or something from home and do some upper body work, a few times a day. Those 10-minute exercise breaks, as long as, it's an environment where that's encouraged, can be tremendously beneficial because whatever you do for your movement doesn't have to be 30 minutes on a treadmill. It doesn't, it can be 3 10-minute breaks throughout the day. Oh my gosh, somebody please take a kettlebell into your office. I would be so excited if you did that. Like, do some kettlebell swings. And make sure it's not going to go flying into somebody's laptop. But, really. So these 10-minute breaks. And then I also love what so many of you are already doing, which is these on-site wellness programs, right? To encourage employees to anything from stopping smoking to healthy competitions in the office. One division against another, whether it's if setting fitness goals or weight loss goals. Those kinds of things are fantastic. Introducing on-site Pilates and yoga classes. Yes, it was Tony mentioned, I do yoga, and I'm a huge proponent. And even though I do hot yoga, because I live in Western Washington, so I don't get heat very often. So I love that. But there are like 147 different kinds of yoga, so pick one. They're all good. Reimbursing health club memberships. Wow, super, super exciting. And as a personal trainer, I'll say if you throw in, one visit to a personal trainer, even better. I love that. And as we move out of the workforce and we think about how wellness is impacted in our personal lives, the obvious thing is to look at fitness, right? Because while the two are really inextricably related, there's something really magical about fitness. I did not grow up an athlete. I was 44 years old when before picture, when I weighed 265 pounds. I was nobody's idea of an athlete. I came to love fitness through what I call my superpower, which is basically just consistency. I don't do anything that anybody in here isn't capable of doing. It's just that I do it every day. And I never, ever make excuses for not doing it. I don't ask myself if I feel like doing it. I just do it. And what I find is one of the magical things about fitness is that, even if you don't have the motivation, you just push start, the motivation's going to come find you. It will. It's just incredible how that works. And, so at a very minimum, if you can personally commit to doing regular exercise 3 to 4 days a week, again, it doesn't have to be anything outrageously, I like to say I never do anything half-assed. Well, I became a marathon runner because, of course, that's just what I do. I just do things that are intense. In fact, I have a bodybuilding competition in a few days, which is why I look like this right now. I don't normally look quite this lean because this is just what you do. As a bodybuilder, you drop a lot of weight right at the end, and it's also why, unfortunately, I'm not going to eat any of your delightful lunch because I have a very, very strict regimen right now. But it's all part of the process of taking responsibility for your fitness and finding things that you love, that you're passionate about, that make you want to move, and so that's why I do what I do. The other thing that I would encourage you to do personally is to up your hydration. Unbelievable how much difference this makes. Your skin looks better. You feel better. You know what? I never would have believed this when I was fat. It's absolutely true. Half the time when you think you're hungry, you're actually thirsty. And what I do, I know there are all kinds of formulas for like how much you're supposed to. Here's what I do. I fill a gallon water jug, and then I fill my water bottle out of that every day. And that's how I make sure that I get enough water in through the day. So I just sort of pace it. Yeah, I have to go to the bathroom all the time, but that's just the way it goes. And then use a food tracker on your phone. I mean, talk about wanting to know how much you're taking in terms of grams of sugar. Oh my goodness, if that isn't enlightening. So just for a week, you don't have to do it forever. But try it and see, the guidelines for how much sugar you're probably recommended is probably like somewhere 30 to 35 grams a day. Remember that unicorn frappuccino I mentioned? Okay, that's 2 days worth of sugar. That's total sugars, like in fruit and so the amount of sugar that's recommended is actually extremely low. And once we become aware of it is when we can start to make changes. So it's really just bringing some awareness to all of that. Speaking of awareness, anybody an emotional eater? Hello. Yeah. I was an emotional eater of the highest degree. But I will say, while we're very much conditioned to eat when we're sad, or eat when we're lonely, or eat when we're bored, or eat when we're happy and celebrating and all those things, to a large extent, you're sort of hardwired to do that. There are evolutionary reasons why, we turn to sweets at certain times. It triggers these neurotransmitters in our brain that make us feel better or more relaxed or whatever. And, and that's all well and good. But I think for me, really, really coming to terms with I hate that expression, it's not what you're eating, it's what's eating you. But honestly, I had a lot of emotional eating issues that I needed to work through. So if there's anything I want you to know about my journey, it isn't that, I became fit and so that's how I lost all this weight, or that I have a really rigid meal plan and that's how I lost all the, ultimately, it's because I was willing to look at some of the emotional reasons why I was choosing to use food inappropriately. And I'm just unwilling to do that anymore. So, although I will say that after I finished this bodybuilding competition, there's an apple fritter with my name on it. So I do reserve the right to do that. But, the emotional piece really can't be overstated. Pushing outside my comfort zone was really a huge one for me. When I had knee surgery about 5 years ago, which ended, unfortunately, my distance running career, which is why I picked up bodybuilding, I couldn't exercise at all for a period of time, my orthopedic surgeon told me, and I was devastated because that's my happy time. So I wasn't sure what I was going to do about that. He said, well, you could swim. I was like, okay, so I have not been swimming since I have 4 kids, since my kids were like, and I was doing this in a pool. And that's not really swimming, obviously. So I didn't know how to do it for fitness. So I went and took swimming lessons for grown-ups at my Y, which they do. And I learned how to swim. And I learned how to swim laps. And so after my surgery, I would hobble out onto the pool deck and drop my crutches at the side and sit down on my butt and slide in and swim for a couple hours. This was not in my comfort zone. But it was completely worth it to me to push past that fear that I had and find something that did work for me. Because frankly, living a healthy lifestyle is sort of it's an act of rebellion almost, which I kind of love, and it's definitely kind of countercultural. Because if you're not going to be the one to sit around and joke and, let people, join in their rationalization for what they're doing to themselves, if you're not going to be the one to do that, you kind of got to be willing to go outside your comfort zone and go it alone a little bit. And that's got to be okay. Again, with the the comfort zone. I think we do tend to, we get in these ruts. Can you picture a country road that has been traveled a lot, right? And it, it has a dirt road, and it has these deep grooves in it. And by the time you're my age, it's super easy to live your life in those grooves. But what I've found is that I can really push myself to grow as a person, in my health experience, but just in my happiness, if I'm willing to, move outside of that rut a little bit, just a little bit. So I would encourage you to, do something that's outside of the norm. Go to a movie that's a different kind of genre than what you usually pick. Pick a different kind of book. I know, if you're going to pick a book, read The Case Against Sugar. Oh my gosh, I just finished it. It's a little science-y, but you can skip over that part if you don't want to read that part. But it's absolutely fascinating. You can get it on an audio book. I spend a lot of time in my car, and I spend a lot of time on a cardio machine. So that's another time, and I do that kind of stuff. Comfort zones are really overrated. There's no growth inside comfort zones, so I'm not a fan. This is, more than anything, probably a spiritual journey for me. The last 10 years, I never, ever could have told you that where I started was where I was going to end up. I have been through major life changes. Okay, well, guys, you're just going to have to deal with it. I went through menopause a few years ago. My 30-year marriage just ended last year. I have had major stresses in my life. If I didn't have the ability now to really tune in to what's important to me and know who I am and that I'm okay and good enough the way I am, actually, no matter what I look like, how much I weigh, if I didn't have the ability now to see that and really know that in my heart of hearts, the woman who started this journey didn't know that. But that's kind of the beauty of self-discovery, and that's kind of, where this whole transformation has taken me thus far. I hate to say that this is the culmination of that self-knowledge, because I don't know, maybe it's not. Oh goodness, the last couple things that have really challenged me, I'd rather not live through again. Thanks anyway. But that's the way life challenges are, right? We wouldn't ask for them, but you never know what you're going to learn from it. From a social standpoint, I will say I definitely used to be the kind of person who, when I was feeling down or feeling like I'd let others down, which is a common theme in the first 44 years of my life, kind of taking the weight of the world on my shoulders, that I frequently withdrew and isolated myself. It's very common for those of us who tend towards anxiety, depression, which I suffered from, clinical depression, a couple of major episodes in my lifetime. But also, even just those of us who are sort of tend to overthink, right? To isolate ourselves. And what I've realized through this spiritual kind of awakening is that connection is really the answer. It's connecting with other people and letting them connect with you, because people want to give. People want to help. In my years and years and years of trying to lose weight, literally a new diet every Monday morning. It was usually over by 10 a.m. because I got hungry. But anyway, but each one of those felt so defeating that I would draw inward and bang myself and then, you failed again, and I didn't want to tell anybody that I was trying, because you're already anticipating the failure, so why tell anybody that you're going to try? When I finally had just reached my limit and my pride was gone, I finally reached my hand out and asked for help There's no sin in that. And people want to help. It makes them feel good, right? It makes us feel, I love it when people ask me for help, whether it's with weight loss or to change a tire. I mean, it's fantastic, right? Well, I probably couldn't help you with that, but I have AAA, so I can help you with that. There we go. Last slide, I promise. And just from a practical standpoint, this is the everyday kind of nuts and bolts kind of stuff. I will say that I was trapped in the belief that I had to be perfect. I had the sort of perfectionist kind of people pleaser kind of syndrome in the worst way, and I know so many of you can relate to that because we're taught to give to others and never receive and do everything that others think we should do. Honestly, if I had a magic wand, I would remove that word from the English language because it's all about other people's expectations or what we perceive as other people's expectations. Caring more about the opinions of others than we do about what we know in our heart to be true. And when I was really humbled at the point of feeling like I had no options but to ask for help and to let other people help me on my weight loss journey, is when my whole world opened up. So I would just say that from a practical standpoint, if that resonates for you, just think about how, who is it I'm trying to make happy here? Because honestly, on my deathbed anyway, I want to be the one to say, I'm so happy, I'm so proud of what I accomplished. I feel so blessed to have lived the life I lived as my true self. So that's my story. I will be around afterwards to answer questions, and I have my books for sale, so it's also available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble if you're interested in looking at it. So it was great to talk to you all. Thank you.